involvement in Canada became very, very much stronger after we won the Tactical Armored Patrol Vehicle competition in 2012. Since then, the TAPV program has led us into lots of industries in Canada as both supplier and investors. One of the ways we're able to fulfill our IRB obligation in Canada for the TAPV program was an R&D consortia. So we're working with Helios in Kelowna, BC, and UBC in BC as well. So that's a consortia, there's 3 of us. Helios provides the technology, which is the armor gel technology. UBC has been working on proving the efficacy of the product for use in hockey helmets.
The ITB policy is an instrument that seeks to ensure that expenditure by federal government in Canada on major procurement projects leads in turn to investments in innovation and economic development across Canada. In our case, Canada's procurement of new tactical armoured patrol vehicles for the Canadian Army has led to investment by Textron Systems in our advanced materials technology for athletes' safety, starting with a better ice hockey helmet to keep athletes safe on the ice. My goal when I started was to really expose international companies to the work that my company was doing here in British Columbia. We had found an extremely willing and expert partner in UBC, and on the Okanagan campus together we pursued an initiative to fund the establishment of the Survive and Thrive Applied Research Initiative. That's allowed us to do a whole lot more than we could have done on our own and became for us a real lever to attract the attention of international companies. The combination of access to world-class expertise at UBC, coupled with development funding, market access and technical know-how from our partner at Textron, has really allowed us to move much further and faster than we ever could on our own, and has allowed us to realize quite an ambitious and really strategic technology development program.
The consortium policy in the ITB enables us to align our efforts with multiple partners. It enables us to coordinate and collaborate in new, very effective ways which simply were impossible or were too cumbersome to put into place previously. Without the ITB policy, we would have no effective way of working across multiple kinds of problems with multiple kinds of partners. One of the really important and interesting dimensions of working in the defense space is the opportunity to identify how defense technologies may be transferable to other sectors. One example which I find particularly intriguing is the way research on helmets for military applications has directly transferable technologies over to sport, where we're increasingly aware of concussion, for example, in hockey or football. So the ITB enables us to work in defense with multiple benefits for Canadians and sectors far beyond defense.
My advice to an SME or a university that has some ideas is to come to us with a project that makes sense to us. It's got good business opportunities for both them and for us. Ideally something within our field of interest as a corporation. And you may say, well, the Helios one is hockey helmets, and you haven't seen anything in Textron that has to do with hockey helmets. In fact, obviously the Helios technology, the armor gel, has got defense applications as well, both for armored vehicles and defense of soldiers.
If I could describe the ITB policy in one word, it would be facilitation. That's really at the heart of what it's all about. It's brokering these key contacts that allow relationships to be struck, to engage in joint development programs, world-class technology innovation, which has substantive economic benefits to Canada,